Welcome back to the channel. This is Champ casting Battlezone98 on Strap Mod, and we're going to be doing a best of 3 King versus Piercing. Alright, we got King playing the CCA. Good defense units and good on armor. And obviously they have blast cannons, so those are going to be really good. Hopefully we see some blast cannon use. His build order looks like it's just going to be 2 scavengers. Probably a constructor. Here on this side of the map we got Piercing playing as the Black Dogs. Light fast units and high firepower but low armor. Let's see if he's gonna play a little bit more aggressive. He got 2 scavengers and a constructor. Already placed his silo. And he's moving his factory pretty close to the front lines. He's gonna play a little bit more of an aggressive game here. Alright. Looks like already bringing up, Piercing's already bringing up some scouts. Looks like that scout was able to destroy a tank. Is that a tank or a fire? There goes King's ship. Both of them lost their ships. So let's see if they get a snipe. Looks like Piercing is just going to get back in another ship. Probably a scout, because he loves playing in these scouts. I wish he used, Piercing used Red Devils a little bit more, because that's literally a unit only for Black Dogs. And they do high damage, but they run out of ammo pretty fast. Okay, looks like Piercing is taking the mid, destroying King's silo. And here comes King trying to fight back, and he loses his ship again. Wow. I mean, he really knows how to use these scouts. I can't believe King is losing his tanks to these scouts and light tanks. And he's going for a snipe, King is. And I think he missed all his shots. So now he's just pretty much a dead man. And there he goes. This is going to set King back quite a bit because he lost every single battle there. It's taking a while for Piercing to bring his scavengers up there. I don't think he has a silo up yet. King has only 3 tanks. Right now, I don't know what 3 tanks are going to do, because he lost almost every fight. I think every fight he lost. Maybe he should be doing a more defensive, trying to creep his way back into it. He's missing a lot of shots versus this scout. Here comes his offensive units. Alright, he was able to take out Piercing scout. Let's see if he's able to clean up the rest of these units here. Okay, so he finally gets out some walkers to get enough scrap. And I guess, yeah, it looks like King Fury was about to claw his way back, but he got killed and he lost all his lives. So Piercy is going to take that game. Yeah, you got to be careful in Battlezone because you have to worry about your lives and your base being destroyed. So it's very tough to micromanage all that, and you only have 3 lives. Normally, for a friendly game, it's probably like 5 lives, but they're playing a little bit more aggressive, so I think they're going for 3. Piercing playing as Black Dogs again on this side, going for 2 scavengers, 1 constructor. I believe that's a normal build order, the basic build order. And here's King playing CCA once again. I believe King is going to try to play a little bit more conservative. There's no real reason to be fighting in the middle like that if you know you might have a chance to lose, because this is a very big map, so your scavengers are not even going to be there to take the scrap in the first place. So in Battlezone, if you're not ready to take the scrap, there's no reason to fight, because any fight you lose your scrap, so you lose. Technically you're losing capability basically. Looks like both players are just trying to set up their nav beacons around the map so their constructor can build these silos without them being there. Alright, looks like King is spot. Okay, spots Piercing is using mince mines to push Piercing's offensive units all over the place. And since Piercing is playing Black Dogs, his units are very light, so they're going to get pushed very far away compared to King's heavy units. They just have more mass, the CCA units do. But even with the mince mine pushes, somehow Piercing still wins this fight, because I guess he's just really good at doing damage. And here's a little bit of a miss micro. There goes King's constructor. That's going to set him back. Now he's going to have to rebuild it, and he's going to have to make another long journey across the map to build his silo. Piercing is falling back here. I think it would be better to at least send one of his units to hit the nearby silo and then start repairing his other units, but he's doing a full retreat, so he's not going to be able to capitalize on anything. So that's going to give King some lease on life here. King's already going to put down his silo, and he's got an armory in this corner of the map, which is probably not going to be too much fighting over there. Here's Piercing buying some repairs for his offensive units. Got a really good mix of units here. Rocket tanks, light tanks, normal tanks, and looks like he's getting, I'm not sure what those upgrades are. I know one is a mortar, but I don't know what the other one is. But the other one looks like some type of special weapons upgrade. We don't see Piercing using any light or scout tanks, or scouts in general, which that's what he loves to use. So let's see if it might throw him off his mojo this game. Let's see. Piercing is getting some more upgrades. I can see it on the map. And it looks like King. Okay, so the upgrade was a thumper. That's what it was, which shakes the ground and causes walkers to spin around, spin in the air. So King is buying bunch of walkers, what he would be doing this whole time, because those walkers take a long time to make, and that's a very tough to beat right there. 3 walkers. Just that one walker probably destroyed about 3 offensives. King getting a scrap on this side. Alright, Pearson is deploying some APC. I don't see a barracks for its resupply. Probably gonna get that later on. And see, these APC soldiers are just being left to do whatever they want to do, so that's going to probably hurt King. I don't think it's necessary to be chasing that APC, because it's going to take a long time to get back to the recycler to restock. So he's going to the recycler. He probably should have destroyed those APC soldiers from destroying his silo and scavengers. Yeah, Pearson is having a hard time with these walkers. He's going to have to get an answer for these walkers because there are too many of them. And those light tanks of his are just going to get completely 2-shot. I think it only takes 2 shots for pretty much everything Black Dogs have, except the tanks and walkers. But these scouts, I don't think these scouts are a good unit to be buying, to be going up against 3 walkers. Looks like this walker is out of ammo, which is not firing. So I probably should have pulled that one back. Let's see if this one's out of ammo. Okay, so these walkers are out of ammo, luckily. This one's not. And it looks like that one's out of ammo too. So King probably should have started dropping ammo upgrades for his walkers. Just a few of them would have probably done the job. Because as you see, this one's still barely alive. And all it needed was 1 shot. But King has a bunch of scavengers here. Probably all 10 of the scavengers. That's how much the limit you could build. Taking all of the mid scrap. And now he's building a hangar to heal up his offensive units. He has 4 turrets over there protecting his HQ. I'm not sure what explode is over here. Okay, so here's some APC soldiers piercing. Probably destroyed a silo, hunting down some more scavengers of Kings. For some reason, King just allows these AP soldiers to do whatever they want. And he looks like he has the superior army to really stay in the center here, but I guess he's pulling back to make sure he doesn't bleed any resources. But there is still quite a bit of scrap still on the mid that Pearson can be taking, so I don't know why he's not putting any defenses up there. Here comes Pearson in a rocket tank, which is the bomber for the Black Dogs, and he has a walker. Now the Black Dogs walkers do come with dual SPs and they move really fast, but as you see, they have not as good armor as a normal walker, so they go down pretty fast too. But I guess he's thinking that he needs these walkers because he feels like King is going to build more walkers, but it looks like King invested a lot of scrap into these rocket tanks, which do fairly good damage, especially to the light tanks, but not so much to APCs. So I'm guessing Pearson going to make more APCs since he sees these rocket tanks. think the APCs can take care of one walker. Two, I don't think it will work because the APC might get gunned down before it can drop off the units. Because you have to get pretty close, which is going to be tough to do. Okay, so King has a mortar upgrade. Finally going to do something about these APC soldiers. And he looks like he's massing up some more army, probably waiting for this walker to get up to this little hill before he pushes up. I don't see much units. Okay, so I don't know why Piercing builds these scouts. I don't think because the scouts for the Black Dogs are more expensive than any other light scout or fighter unit. I believe they're 8 scrap, and a normal fighter will be 6. So that's a lot of investment for something that's pretty much just a worse rocket tank. And King has a bunch of rocket tanks, so speed does not really matter because the rocket tanks will just lock on to your scouts. So I think the best thing he probably would have done if he really wanted to have the missiles, probably just buy the Red Devils, because they would fire the Hornets, which is a heavier type of missile that would do a lot more damage to those walkers and armor in general. Here's King pushing up into the front of Piercing's, I'm not sure what you would call it, little outpost here. His base is not here, so I'm not sure where his base is, but he has a little bit of an outpost, a hangar, gun tower, silos, a little barracks in the back to restock, and his units are getting stuck. That's really bad at this point of the fight. A lot of his APCs are getting stuck into the silo because he has his barracks right behind the silo, so they're not being replenished. So that's gonna probably lose him the game. I mean, he's losing the game already, but that's just gonna be probably the nail in the coffin. He really needs, I think there was probably 3 or 2 APCs that got stuck on that hangar. And that really just goes to show how complex this game is, because just little stuff like that can lose you the game. So I'm not sure where, I'm not seeing too much offensive units come from King here. I don't know where his army is. Maybe he sent it back to heal up. That's probably what he did. He's taking his time building up more defenses. And he's got mortars raining down on these gun turrets. So I'm not sure if this little outpost was worth the money. I know probably Piercing was afraid that he didn't have a lot of offensive units at a time, so he wants to try to, bleed King's army so he could slowly get back into the game. But these gun towers, I felt like he should have tried to move them up a little bit more. And I think King did give him a little bit of opportunity to do that because King retreated for some reason. So if he had placed it up a little bit more, I think it would have been better, because they didn't really do much. It cost a lot of resources. Yeah, there's just so many units right here. The scavengers are kind of acting like a little bit of a shield, because your offensive units only have so much ammo. And here comes a lot of Piercing scavengers. He's sending them all out at once. projectile, and even sniper rounds. King is still, Piercing is still building these expensive scout units that I don't think are doing anything for him. He probably could have just built the cheaper Red Devils, and they probably would have knocked out more offensive units. Because the Red Devil do way more damage than those scouts, but they will run out of ammunition. But I don't think that matters at this point, especially since he has, he's going to, for right now he has that supply, but I think it's going to go down pretty quickly here because he's being bombarded. King is using his upgrades. I believe it's called Solar Flare upgrade to his maximum capacity, which he probably really don't need to be doing because it looks like Piercing is pretty much out of the game there. Piercing is still trying to fight. He just joined these silos, so the scavengers have a longer time to scavenge these scrap, basically allowing his own scavengers to start collecting his resources. I wonder what he's going to build right here. What is he building? Okay, he's building another supply. I wonder why he's building a supply. Oh, I guess maybe he was just out of. I'm not sure why he's building a supply. Alright, he's moving his turret back to a good position. He's trying to fight this walker. But it's too much armor. I'm not sure the best way to fight these walkers. Probably, actually, you know what? I know the best way. The best way would probably be a normal tank with a thumper. I think that's the best way to deal with walkers, especially just a single walker like that. It's like Piercing is doing his last hurrah, trying to do some snipes. So since he's next to the supply, he pretty much have unlimited sniping capability here. And it looks like he needs to be careful because there's a bunch of debris and he gets killed. I think he got killed by some debris from another explosion, which is quite unfortunate. I'm pretty sure that's going to be game. He has one life. He has no units. I don't know why King is playing careful here. He probably does not have a satellite to see what Piercing has. But I don't think he has anything. Okay, he built one Red Devil. One Red Devil, finally. I don't think that's going to do any good. Okay, so this is where King Army is. He's just finishing off the outpost, and Piercing has his factory way back here. I don't know if that's going to do any good. Okay, so Piercing quits. King wins this round. On to the next.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, looks like we got King still playing the same faction, CCA. As we saw last game, how heavy and how much armor those units have compared to the light and quick units of the Black Dogs. Very hard to take down those heavy walkers. Have a lot of HP. I'm not sure exactly how much HP they have, but it's a lot. Funny enough, it's not the highest HP walker. I believe the highest one is the I'm not sure what that faction is called. I think it's called the NSDF faction. Basically, the American faction has the strongest. Well, I want to say strongest, but the highest armor. looks like both players are doing the same build. King, it looks like he's putting his base in the same spot. Alright, it looks like Percy is in the tank this time around, and it looks like he's moved his factory in position. You can tell by looking at the map. And here comes King in the fight. Ooh, he placed that, and he overshot because he placed that upgrade, which was called the solar flare, but he didn't sit in the solar flare. So he didn't get any protection. So that was a really bad misplay for him. He didn't have to take any damage there. I guess he was over eager to fight for some reason. And now Piercing found one of King's silos. He's going to destroy it. He's going to set him back. Set him back a lot, and he's destroying the scavengers. So crucial damage this early on the game, and he kills King with the fadeaway mortar shot. So that's a lot of damage already. I mean, what are you gonna do? He was playing very aggressive. Piercing was. Alright, King is making light tanks, which is a sign of desperation whenever you see King making light tanks this early on. It's not a good sign. I don't think he likes making them. I think he likes making normal tanks just because of the health. It's a lot of health. No reason to fight light tanks of the Black Dog with your own light tanks. Just not gonna work. Not gonna work out good. It's not a good trade. Oh, I think there's another missed micro from King. He has his army headed to the direction, and they're not fighting back yet. Okay, now I think they're starting to target. And he lost his destructor right there too. I wonder where is King? Did he lose his ship? I guess he lost his ship fighting Percy. Okay, so Percy is going to win this small battle in this. Okay, King has his ship. I don't know why he wasn't fighting with his army. But now he's going to lose his ship if he doesn't retreat. There's no reason to stay right here. Okay. He loses his ship. So, Piercing has done a lot of damage. There's a lot of scrap on the floor. And he's taken out another silo. And he already took out the King's constructor. So, does he have his scavengers up here ready to start taking the scrap? That's going to be, if he does, then I guess this game is probably over then. And it looks like he does have a lot of army, so he must have been taking the scrap from somewhere. The King is just losing a bunch of offensive units here. He's still trying to play a little bit more aggressive than he probably should be because he lost so much already. If you probably take it more slow by just building maybe a walker, building some defensive, putting his silo a little bit farther back and creeping his way up, probably been the better play to do. Especially since he don't have his silo up. There's really no reason to fight if you can't collect the scrap. And Piercing already has units in his base. Looks like Piercing is pulling his. Okay, King just left the game. So Piercing won this best out of 3. Goes to Piercing. Alright, thank you for watching. This is another great game. Hopefully I could get more Battlezone good players, because there's a lot of good players out there, but just that with this game there's no recording unless you're actually recording it as an observer. So hopefully I could get some more good games, and if you know anybody who wants to have their game recorded, you can find me on Discord, on the Battlezone Discords. I'm on all of the Battlezone Discords, so you're going to find Corn Chat there. All right, thank you for watching.